Yeah. Welcome. Hi. Good We're at the place where it's going to happen. And the reason we have you here tonight, and we're going to do more of these kinds of focus groups and invite more families, is because the center is for you. And so it has to be designed just right for you. That's the most important thing.
Felt like as a community, you didn't feel alone. And I think that's the biggest thing that came from us. With ITK, we knew we had other people that understood. So we were part of the family.
Integrative Touch for Kids, it changed a lot. There's two different perspectives I have from being the family and the volunteer. It helped me a lot. And then as the volunteer, made me understand I'm not alone. And knowing that I could help, and knowing that the connection that you get with the family is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. There's just a different bonds with families like us. It's just a good overall concept. It's good.
Are you about to cry?
I hope so. That would show us his courage. You know, tears are a sign of courage, Christian. You know that, right?
I thought that it might be really nice if we did have a memorial area to have a kind of low-hanging tree that you could get little hearts of paper and write your loved one a love letter and hang it on the tree.
Beautiful.
I think if we could visit ITK more regularly and it could be more part of a community, it would be rejuvenating. You get, when your cup gets empty, it would just refill your cup. It would give you that kind of reset that we all need from time to time, and that sense of community also, I think would feel really, really good.
When you have a special needs child, some days are good days and some days are bad days. And what if on a retreat day, it's a bad day, but she's having a really great day? Let's go down to the center. Let's do something fun that's, with our peers. That's what I envision, kids running around and playing with each other, and then getting some therapy for things that are on a challenging day. You can still go there and benefit from it. So you're not limited to just one day. And I think that'll be beneficial for a lot of people, a lot of families.
Other communities are going to look to this and say, this drives down costs for healthcare because we're meeting families' needs in a way that does not mean a doctor's visit or more medication. It's so innovative, and Tucson will be the first. It'll be so fantastic. And all those community providers that are tapped into this, it'll be this network where, that's so new. It's so great.
In one word, how I'd kind of put ITK would be love. I always feel love when ITK is involved, and to spread that love in the community would be fantastic. So my word for ITK is love.
Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has.
All right, I think we're gonna get started. I am probably gonna cry. I'm gonna say that right now. So when ITK was born, I knew I wanted a healing center. So this dream is 15 years old. And I can feel we're at the place where it's gonna happen. We're at the place where it's going to happen. And the reason we have you here tonight, and we're going to do more of these kinds of focus groups and invite more families, is because the center is for you. And so it has to be designed just right for you. That's the most important thing. And so I will share some ideas tonight, we created a really fun document that's called our Vivid Vision. And it looks at where we want ITK to be in 3 years' time. And so we wrote that document as if it's like the beginning of January 2023. And where are we and what have we accomplished? And so it really is the vision. So we're going to actually begin this evening by going around and reading that document. We're going to have everybody read like a paragraph at a time and just kind of go through the whole group so that we all get a chance to read it. And that's going to be the starting point for our conversation. And then after that, we're going to kind of popcorn style just ask for your feedback on it. Like, what struck you in the reading of it? Was there anything that stood out that you thought, wow, that's a cool idea? Or, wow, that's something I would like to see. That's important to me. So we want to get your honest feedback on it. And then we're going to ask you some questions, some specific questions, kind of based on this initial concept for the center, so that you can give us more ideas, maybe things we haven't thought about, or you might build on an idea that's kind of in the document. And you'll see the document that we're going to read, it's for ITK as a whole. So in the beginning, it's more about like the organization as a whole, and we want to be a leader in pediatric integrative medicine, and it's like where we see ourselves going. And then the last couple of pages go very specifically into the Healing Center and kind of the vision behind that. So this is an opportunity to listen and to talk and to brainstorm. And so I'm just so excited to be doing this with you tonight, and I'm very appreciative that you showed up to be here, because you're all like such integral and beautiful parts of our ITK community. So thank you.
ITK has reached 3 important milestones in our organizational life. We have raised $3 million to begin construction on our first of its kind Kids Healing Center for families with kids with special health and medical needs. We have successfully operated the Integrative Touch Hospital program, which is now fully funded by the hospital, and we have grown our organizational capacity by increasing our annual revenue to $1 million, including cash. And in kind support, ITK is vibrant and growing. We are regarded as a leader in the field of pediatric integrative medicine. Our core belief is the power of the people who make ITK possible. This includes more than 500 volunteers and 10 staff members. Our people are happy because they are actively engaged in meaningful work. They are part of ITK's wellness culture, which is fun, rewarding, and enlivening. We have been featured in numerous online and print media outlets because we create the best content in the field of self-health and are leaders in delivering compassionate healthcare. We regularly release online videos that help people access high-quality information on how to be healthy and happy. This generates both revenue and notoriety for ITK.
Great company, great people. ITK is great company because we recognize that our value lies in the people who bring our programs to life. We have created an ITK family that feels authentic and loving and includes all of our volunteers and family participants. From our junior volunteers to our medical volunteers, we treat everyone with kindness and respect. We fully understand and appreciate Marguerite Mead's quote, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. We operate by this value and treat each of our staff members and volunteers as a key stakeholder in our mission. Our teams are best in class. They are on the leading edge, striving to serve more families and drive better outcome. We are leading the way for creating high quality, happy, and sustainable communities."
Our mission is to change the way people experience health and healing. We create opportunities for healing, education, and empowerment that reduce suffering and improve quality of life. The heart of our service population is families with kids with special health and medical needs. Because they are not alone and belong to vibrant communities, we engage each member of their community.
Our core values: love heals, everyone matters, innovation is key, we are stronger together. Our culture. Our culture is a wellness culture. ITK weaves wellness throughout the organization. We will see this reflected in our meetings and HR policies, just as it is incorporated in our programs. We work in an environment that exemplifies our core values. Collaboration runs throughout our organization. We have a zero gossip policy. Individual concerns are directly addressed. We create psychologically safe group environments and encourage every voice in the room to be heard. Our people listen to one another and show sensitivity to feelings and needs. We practice compassionate communication and have the courage to be forthright with one another in an emotionally intelligent way.
In each of our programs, participants experience compassion in action. We define compassion as the feeling that arises when you experience others suffering and are motivated to take action to relieve that suffering. We strive for excellence in everything that we do. We stay focused, actively demonstrate the power of integrative touch therapy and all of the other therapies and education opportunities that ITK provides.
Invest time and energy in utilizing state-of-the-art technological solutions to maximize our market research and content effectiveness. Our program is driving the awareness and legitimacy of pediatric integrative medicine, integrative touch therapy, and precision medicine on a larger scale outside of Tucson. We are a thought leader with pediatric medicine circles. There is an increased awareness and acceptance in the general public of the benefits and power of integrative medicine as we define it. We have nudged along the worldview of what personalized and integrative medicine includes and what it means to heal on all levels.
People can easily define the integrative touch proprietary therapeutic treatment protocol, which is widely respected for its impact and benefits. Our integrative touch certification program is up and running, and we've started training the next generation. We continue to be rigorous with research and evaluation, and we have published peer-reviewed studies that inform our work in the field as a whole. We collect data on all our programs and services and on our proprietary therapy, integrative touch, to clearly show the impacts of our work.
Food and a dining room where people can eat together, and comfortable spaces where families can sit and talk that feel like a living room. There is a garden where kids and others can be outside to enjoy the natural environment. There is a physical fitness element, like at the retreats where we offer classes like yoga, traditional Chinese medicine on site. We partner with groups like the Intuition Wellness Center to bring integrative mental health. The ITK Healing Center brings together many different community resources
who are there to take care of the children while their parents are in session. There are weekly supports, groups, and empowerment circles.
Bring it together in one place. This is the place where we live the healing retreats year-round, and it is also a place where there is a continuity of care. People come to the center after receiving services in the palliative care clinic or after being discharged from the hospital. Our goal is to be financially sustainable. Our wellness partners are retail business partners who help to support the center economically so that we can keep the services at low or no cost to families. Did you hear that part? That's a good part. Yeah. Wellness partners also contribute a set number of hours each month to providing services to ITK families. This is their contribution to the mission that also allows them to receive benefits such as access to classes and services on site.
We have membership models for people in the community who want to participate and pay a monthly membership fee. This includes our ITK volunteers and others who want to be part of the ITK family. The financial model for the center is a hybrid model of paid memberships. time banking and scholarships for the families. There is a sliding scale available to accommodate different financial capacities. A portion of the center runs off an alternative currency model where people volunteer their time and take bank hours that they can use to take classes or receive one-on-one services. We use an alternative currency we call love notes that allow us to track donations of time and talents. Volunteers can also choose to donate their hours to a child or a family in need. People volunteer to make healing blends, work in the gift shop, or at the registration, such as set up for classes and help with childcare. All of the hours can be time banked and counted toward services for themselves or for others by donating their love notes to kids and families. Junior volunteers come to help with childcare and to play with the kids. They are buddies, just like at the retreats, and get matched up with kids with special needs and their siblings. Adult volunteers also help with childcare.
So we focus on taking great care of all the people involved. This includes volunteers, staff, and families. ITK staff are part of a unique profit-sharing model, so they too can share in the success of the center as it grows. We care about our people and do everything that we can to treat our volunteers, employees, and families with high regard. Employees, board memberships, and committee members are given wellness benefits, including access to classes and services. And if all of that wasn't enough, the goal of the center is to create this exceptional place for children and families, and then serve as a model for future healing centers that can exist in many communities. The center is a place that people can come to heal, understand ITK's vision, receive education, and see the template for ITK's Healing Center blueprint in action. This is a birthplace for integrative touch therapy and the birthplace for a unique model of community-centered integrative care that can be wildly replicated.
Woo! It's a big vision, so what inspires you the most from ITK's vivid vision? So from what we just read, what stood out to you as inspiring or that feels really good?
I like the idea of the love notes as currency. I don't know that I grasp exactly how it'll work, but it seems like you volunteer time and you also, like, it's a win-win partnership. So I love the currency of like giving and receiving as currency, and it's all about love. So I like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a fun concept. It comes out of a book called Rethinking Money.
Like the idea that you can donate your time as well. That is
Someone else, to another family.
someone who needs it more.
I like the idea that it will be a year-round thing. I mean, there's so much energy that was put towards the week retreats and the individual day retreats. And this will just be an ongoing, sustainable piece where families can get the help all throughout the year. So I love that idea.
Just to piggyback off of that, yeah, that was what I was thinking, kind of like, because when you have a special needs child, some days are good days and some days are bad days. And what if on a retreat day, it's a bad day, but she's having a really great day? Let's go down to the center. Let's do something fun that's, with our peers. That's what I envision, like kids running around and playing with each other, and then getting some therapy for things that are on a challenging day. You can still go there and benefit from it. So you're not limited to just like one day. And I think that'll be beneficial for a lot of people, a lot of families. Restrictions.
I like the community piece, the fact that you can get to really know people in the community who are in a similar situation to yourself and get to understand those people more and give your point of view as to what's going on in your world and share. I really like that community piece a lot because I think it's really, really important to us families who have children with special needs.
the garden feels like the secret garden. Ladybugs and releasing ladybugs. That sounds cool. I think kids would love that. And the first part, like talking about your vision and you talking about how you saw yourself and wanting to go medical school and not wanting, but you knew you wanted to heal people. I kind of saw myself in that position.
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of people in that position. I was thinking, for some reason, I keep having this thought lately of like, where's the Disneyland for healthcare? Which sounds so silly, but it's like, where do you go to get healthcare, but that it feels really good and positive and almost like you're excited to go? And you're like, oh yeah, we want to go. Like, and that's what I want the center to be. Like, oh, we want to go to ITK. You know, like you look forward to going, and you know when you go there you'll be met and you'll receive a whole community of people and you'll have the services. So that's what I'm like, this is such a missing link in our current system where there's not the happy place that you go. And so that's a big part of what we want it to be too, I think.
For our husbands too, our spouses, because it'll give them the opportunity to meet people who they typically wouldn't meet and get to talk to in our situation also. So I really feel like that's a piece that's missing and that's really important.
Because most of the time moms do 90% of the job.
Depends on the family. Very involved.
I just graduated from nursing school, and it really struck me the way that you brought in, you didn't leave out training the next generation of people in integrative therapy. That is a very huge burgeoning field. The College of Nursing has a brand new integrative therapy facility and training center in Phoenix, and it's a huge part of my education now. They have a fellowship program, so we need to like partner up. So I saw that you had that in there with the word physicians, and I wanted to sort of sneak nurses in there too, you know, because they're applying these integrative therapies without knowing it. And they, you know, so you're right on trend with all this stuff. That's getting that research in, because you need hard data to make it happen.
I'm so glad you said that. And yes, like nurses, and Kate, you can speak to this too.
What's hurting the most, and they know already kind of where family's at, so they help us take the pulse of a situation and we collaborate all the time to find the special recipe for just stress reduction for this particular family. So nursing is strong ally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm excited to eat together. I want a big ITK cafeteria where we can all come eat delicious, healthy food. I would drive across town for that. Not to mention everything else in here. I'm excited about a place where junior volunteers can volunteer every day, right? For kiddos to be helping care for other kids at the same time playing, having a great time after school, and just doing their weekly shift at the ITK Center and feeling really good about that, and then going on to become president and nurse manager and all the things, and just knowing that that's a role that should exist in life, And I'm excited about pretty much everything in here.
I'm excited about animals. I like the thought of being able to interact with other animals.
Cool, and we're thinking horses, and we're thinking we'll do the dogs like we've done at the retreats and at the healing circles, and we'll probably come up with others. We used to do this event fairly regularly that we called Playdates in the Park. I'm sure some of you have done it. And we had rabbits, and we had ducks. Who else do we have there? I think we goats. We had. So I appreciate that feedback.
That is true. Because, like, for Christian, he's scared a lot of the animals. And for Christmas, we got a puppy. And Christian is learning how to interact with the puppy, even though he's a puppy. But he gets excited and he's jumping, but he's not as spooked. And this is at home, so still try to get him used to, out in the community, the horses and the other animals. But we're taking it day by day. But it's been a good 2 weeks.
Good.
And it's the kids, I think it was good that we got it. So, and that's a big impact on the kids, the animals.
Sure. I think that at the week-long retreats, it was very helpful. And so I can envision, when you are having a hard time, you can call your coordinator, and that would be a person that's there for you and can get you in to have some of your needs be met.
Great. We're going to go to the next one, which is this question. What else would you like to see in a healing center? Maybe something that we didn't touch on, but you're like, oh, in my vision for a healing center, this would be so meaningful to me or to our family. So I want to hear if anything comes to mind in that respect. Yes.
I didn't hear pool.
I know.
Second that.
I was thinking
Our kids
waterfall
love the
or
water.
fountain.
Yeah, water is a big deal. And it's hot here.
Maybe a water splash pad with that.
Yeah,
Does
that'd
it
be
have to
cool.
be
Yeah,
a full?
like, yeah, totally. Splash pad's great.
Just get wet.
Yeah, a little easier to manage too. For sure.
Every family has different needs. And a lot of families that join this community, they join because they want to find comfort for their family and for a child with a terminal illness. And there will be families who will receive news that no family ever wants to receive, that they have a child with a terminal illness. So I think that for us, and one of the big reasons why we're here tonight, is because we would like part of the vision to include bereavement support for families who have moved on and who their needs are different. Our needs are different than most families now, but we still want to be part of this community. And I think that that's an important element that should be considered, is bereavement support. Mostly for the siblings. I think it's important. So.
Yeah, and 1,000% we want that to be a part of the center. And I think what you've kind of inspired me to think about is maybe we'll do a group specifically around what would that part of the center look like, right? Because we're going to integrate that in. Like, what are some of the specific things that we would want to consider unique to that situation? And so maybe we can have another conversation also, of course, weave all that in throughout the conversation tonight. But additionally, we might want to, and we could partner with Tuna Detail on this too, but like create an opportunity to just talk about what would that look like at this center, right? How would we weave that so that it's throughout the whole program? So I would love to talk to you even more about that. And that is absolutely a part of the vision without question. So and we can design what you think.
We really like the support group, the once a month, or I forget what it was, but it was really helpful where, you had the junior volunteers watching the kids and the parents could, just talk, and it was, we missed it. We got a lot out of that, I think. So.
And the template was a little bit different than Tunidito, and we liked that part of it.
Way better. Way better.
Okay. Well,
we left Tunidito also.
Of course.
So,
Make it
sound like
we won't say anything negative about
Okay.
Not even negative.
No, they're.
Don't worry, we won't. Put
They're
that right.
amazing.
I want to let
Yeah.
you know again, you're protected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a memorial space would be really beautiful and important too, right?
And I would love to be part of that committee.
Yeah, and maybe that's how it'll take shape, is we'll create
we'll create a committee that's dedicated to bringing that perspective and voice into the center in a really powerful way.
A garden, and we can think about like the buddies who could be there, who could hang out and play, right? Because play has to be a really big part of the center, without a doubt.
A diving board.
A diving board for the splash pond. Go like that. A diving board.
Maybe some bouncy things.
Some bouncy things.
We Go on Retreat was one of the like music therapies, and Matt and I had it together, and it was like a couples sound, not music therapy, it was sound therapy, and it was so amazing. Just it just took you to this different place. It's like you were traveling with all the different sounds, and that was really amazing.
Changed my life. It might not just be one thing, but because we're all have different situations and different needs, but you felt like as a community you didn't feel alone, and I think that's the biggest thing that came from us, out of with ITK. We knew we had other people that understood, so we were part of a family.
ITK helped us all as a family, helped every single one of us. It really changed every person in my family. It helped us understand wellness. It helped us understand each other. It helped my daughter, who does not have special needs, understand that she's not alone. It helped my daughter with special needs understand that there were more people out there and more families out there that had things like us. It opened up my family to thinking differently about a lot of stuff, like food, what we put in our bodies. We do things like aromatherapy at our house now, which if you would have asked me before that if my husband would have ever done it or if we would have ever done it, the answer would be no. But we're a lot more open to a lot of different things now, and we think about things differently, and we're forever grateful to ITK for that and many, many other things. It's just the tip of the iceberg there.
ITK was a huge blessing for me because when I came in for the very first time, I wasn't really for sure how my son was going to do. So when I saw him at the healing circle inside, and he was laying there and he was sleeping and he was so comfortable, and it was just, it was like he was at home, and I absolutely loved everyone in that room. That made him feel so welcomed and so loved that he felt that comfortable to fall asleep just like that. And when I walked in, because of course I wanted to make sure he was okay, and he was just laying there sleeping, and I was like, wow, this was amazing. So I was so grateful, and grateful that my husband has now been, I think that support groups for the husbands to be able to come together and know that they're not alone is huge. So I love that.
So integrative touch for kids, it changed a lot. There's two different perspectives I have from being the family and the volunteer. There's a lot of, so like as being a family, it helped me a lot. And then as like the volunteer, made me understand like I'm not alone, and like knowing that like I could help, and knowing that the connection that you get with the family is ridiculous. It's like, I don't know, this is just a different bonds with families like us. This is just a good overall like concept. It's good.
Are you about to cry?
I hope so. That would show us his courage. You know, tears are a sign of courage, Christian. You know that, right?
Feeling sense of belonging. You like the minute you walk in, you feel you belong there. You feel comfortable, open energy. You don't feel tight. You don't feel scared. you don't feel different. You don't have to make excuse for your kids' behavior. So, yeah. And feeling that my daughter, the first time we went, she felt like she wants to be a volunteer. That I never even knew she understood the meaning. I'm like, do you know that you have to like be caring for someone else? And do you understand that you can be talking about yourself and the things you're interested in? But I'm just grateful.
It's helping to create more character in our youth, and helping to develop our youth to be more compassionate and empathetic, and just how you incorporate junior volunteers and the buddies. It's just starting kids from a really young age to have a different perspective of the world. Just opening up their minds and thinking about inclusivity is so important at a younger age, because then we know that we're going to create this world that's more compassionate. So the more youth that we bring in, I think it's beautiful.
When I think about, I've only been to one healing circle, but what it really stands out is we did this dancing thing, and looking around the room at all the moms, we like really got into it. We just let go, and everyone was just like smiling from ear to ear. It was amazing. We just let it all go, and we had so much fun, and it was just a huge release. And so it wasn't just, it was serious in some moments and healing in others, and that was just one really, really fun thing that we don't get to go and have fun like that, very often. So that was really cool.
I did do this when I was younger, and like it stuck with me. ITK stuck with me. The whole like idea of ITK and helping like other special needs kids. I took that to school, and I made it a thing in school. Now I see other kids doing it, and I made like a peer mentor thing, and where I have other kids help other kids like my brother and stuff, and so I made that. I'm just trying to spread that what you were trying to spread, and it looks like it's working. I mean, at the school I went to, I made it work.
They wanted to go back to do it. He even took a girl to prom.
I made a lot of. I know a lot of younger kids that are getting into them helping and understanding a lot. Like a lot of the special needs kids have friends because I introduced them to a lot. Not just the whole school is just one big family, and ITK is one whole big family. It's good.
Well, that's something to be proud of that you did. Yeah.
It's like with ITK and the families, and it helped us, especially for like Ariel, helping understand we're not the only family with special need kids. Having them understand, what their siblings are going through, and that there's other families. Everybody has something different. It's not all the same. Dealing with different ways, but we all come together, and we're so comfortable. And what I want to see and like to see is a lot more help with the siblings. To understand, especially with their feelings, because here we're a family, but then they see the outer community with the other families and their kids and say, oh, that's a regular perfect family. But for them to understand, kind of separate, like, why are we like this and they're like that, to getting that understanding. And it's hard because we all understand what our kids go through, and like you said, mention, it doesn't matter. The kid could be running around and throwing himself on the floor. And it's just, for us, it's normal. And other people, they judge us and see us differently. But putting it out there more and having other people in the community, like the buddies, the volunteers, and spreading it out more so people can really understand. And some people do. So, but that's so hard to have other people just see us as just normal. It's just we deal with things differently, very differently.
I just had a vision. And I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be great if we could bring in people who really understood that every family is different and every need is different. And tonight we're going to do family photos. And it's okay if not everybody's going to look at the camera. And it's okay that we might be on different sides of the room. We'll take a bigger picture. And, you know, like, just like, the things that may be hard, like learning from families, what are the things that are a little harder to access that we can deliver with people who we train to know how to just be present with it, whatever the day looks like for you guys. So whatever that's like, movie night or presentations or like speakers or whatever, like I want to know how we can constantly hear what you're interested in learning. And then find the right person and teach them how to be super nice and creative, and then bring them in and give them a great space.
I could see a format. Several people mentioned the groups, so you know, this could be a weekly moms group or a weekly couples group or sibling group or a grief group.
It's kind of like a walking group, like a strolling group or whatever.
An arts day.
Yeah.
Maddie?
This is a thought for the second question you asked, but I thought that it might be really nice if we did have a memorial area to have a kind of low-hanging tree that you could get little hearts of paper and write your loved one a love letter and hang it on the tree.
It's a beautiful idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful idea.
The idea is that the dining room area, with our communal table, where we find that support around mealtime, we should be offering some nutrition classes, right? Feeding tube, blending, you know, right? Feeding tube support, big deal. And just general nutrition ideas kind of could be going on all the time, like at Costco. It could be just like, you know, we could be whipping something up all the time and sharing that, maybe a stack of recipes or just kind of maybe at random or maybe scheduled, I don't know. But definitely I think nutrition is a big part of wellness, huge part of wellness. And feeding tubes are part of this community too, and we need to kind of support that. My challenge that I would like for you to just unilaterally solve is that since we're making wishes, is that I think transportation is an issue for a lot of families, whether it's having access to a wheelchair accessible vehicle or whether it's just that there's only one car in the family. If we're going to reach low income families, we need to have some way to help them get where they're going. You know, there are many people who have both a special needs child at home and have to take the bus to the grocery store. Those groups overlap. So how can we provide resources? That's a huge challenge, and I don't know what the answer is. But maybe we can help somewhere.
I love that, and I think there are ways to think about that and to create some solutions.
I think it would be awesome to have some kind of resource room that has all the different resources around town of the different doctors that are comfortable working with our kids, with the different services that are out there, with the different therapies that are options, and just a room that has a lot that we can learn from. I myself would find that wonderful. And I know a lot of parents out there who, I mean, we've come together as a group sometimes and we talk amongst ourselves and, you know, we always learn from each other. It would be nice if we can just somehow have a room that we could all share stuff, whether it looks like a book that we can write stuff in or different information from different places and providers, different things like track for like animals, different things for like trot for horses, different things, different specialists who are really good with our kids and different ways to get access to those people. I think I would really like that. Secondly, a sensory room would be fantastic. A lot of our kids have sensory needs and kind of need that space. So when our kids are there, it would be nice to have a space for them that's very sensory oriented. I know that my daughter would enjoy that.
That's one thing that I liked a lot was the food that we got introduced to throughout the retreats. You know, stuff that we won't try, we end up trying. A lot of stuff still sticks at home. A lot. A lot.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I know, healthy eating and stuff. And then like Matt had mentioned, and then Christine about saying the information, how to resources and stuff. Like we used to have our groups. What was it? Once a month. We used to meet at. You know, the buddies would buddy with the kids, and the parents would go talk. You know, a couple minutes. But we also, you know, talked about a lot of resources that other people didn't know. And then we got introduced to new families. There's some new families that, you know, I met there that I still talk to now. You know, and it wasn't during our retreat. You know, it's like maybe a couple years before. So that's one good thing that I enjoyed. I'm like,
Really important thing for us at the retreat was the mom group and the dad group. Every day it felt like it wasn't long enough. And I think it was maybe an hour and a half. Does that sound right?
Usually went 2 hours.
It was never long enough. So if we had that also, and you know, and the dads had their own space, I think that would be awesome.
I like the fact that the siblings were included and felt special, and I think that's a big part of it that needs to continue.
I was gonna say, I feel like you'll need some sort of auditorium kind of space, or with a screen and speaker space, because I feel like you will get to, because you can have shorter, because our time is limited, right? We can only sit and focus for maybe 30 minutes to an hour to get some really great information. And like, if you had somebody that was really timely, that you wanted to have that speaker come in and do a quick presentation, you could use it for your own stuff, for your nonprofit things. But I feel like you'll need something like that in your center that will save you money and you can utilize for the families too.
Yeah, great, absolutely. Was there any? I saw there was some other kids.
I was gonna piggyback on what she was saying. Like cafe, like the everyday, like when you're having a good day and you want to hang out, you have play area for kids, and parents can sit and have coffee.
And that.
Timeout.
I put myself on the timeout most of the time.
Yeah, and you could cross that over with a therapeutic appointment and meet with another mom and also be there, or, you know, be part, like everybody could have a part of it in a way where everyone receives.
It's like, okay, we have the moms groups, we have the dads groups, but we actually also need to focus a lot on the siblings groups, not just because they're buddied up, because they're other siblings with special needs, but like focus on information, you know, at their level, depending their age, to understand too and feel comfortable, you know, understanding as well. I think that would be great. A lot more focus on that.
I think if we could visit ITK more regularly and it could be more part of a community, it would be rejuvenating. You get, you know, when your cup gets empty, it would just refill your cup. It would give you that kind of reset that we all need from time to time, and that sense of community also, I think would feel really, really good. Yeah.
We're always talking about self-care, and the time is never there for your own self-care, and I think having a center where you can take your kid with you, and that in your child is getting self-care at the same time, I think the overall family quality of life will be just elevated so much more. I think families will be able to sleep better. I think they will have less stress within the family unit, maybe less, you know, just a happier home life because they're able to go and take care of themselves without being stressed out just getting there. You know, just scheduling a massage, for yourself, is almost impossible when you have all these appointments you have to go to and everything. So if you have one place you're all going to get this self-care I think will be huge impact on the quality of life.
It would be beneficial if families were able to pop in when they really needed it, because I'm sure that, most of this would probably have to be scheduled, but most of our families probably can't schedule things because their schedule is dependent on how their child is feeling, what kind of day they're having. So if a parent is having an overwhelming day, they can come in with their child and just sort of, hit that reset button and yeah, I think being able to just pop in is going to be really important to families, I think.
Yeah, flexibility.
For a couple months, and we'll be looking forward, we're going to go. But then something comes up and then we can't go, we miss it. And then, there's a big old gap between the next one. So like Leticia says, if there's a day, like if it's tomorrow, I can just go. Hey, we can go. We don't have to wait months for the next treatment to get pampered or something, or that little break, and knowing like the things that they do for the siblings and the sound therapy, the soft touch, and all the little things, you miss that, you miss it, and you just gotta wait. That would be really nice.
Maybe it's not open for the full services, but maybe you have like a pop-in center that has like 3 or 4 of the services, or a couple of providers that could, help out instead of.
Yeah, I think that can absolutely be part of the design.
Right? Where you're like, ooh, we have an hour. Let's see if there's an opening.
Plug in.
We're going. Yeah.
Totally need an app.
Real time.
Even if you're waiting for something, maybe you're able to help, one of the moms, say, hey, it looks like you can really use a break. Go out to the garden. I'll watch your kid for the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. So you're still receiving something, but you're also giving. And in giving, you're receiving.
How would it feel to have this center in our community? And I think that from a family, all of that is true, but externally, I think it would be such a, jewel in our crown for the city of Tucson to have this really innovative, I don't think this has been done before. This is so out of the box, so new and different and helpful, really helpful, meeting parents with their quality of life for the whole family. I think that's going to be so great for Tucson to have this. And other communities are going to look to this and say, this drives down costs for healthcare because we're meeting families' needs in a way that does not mean a doctor's visit or more medication. Or it's so innovative, and Tucson will be the first. It'll be so fantastic. And all those community providers that are tapped into this, it'll be this network where, that's so new. It's so great.
I agree.
I feel like so excited.
I'm so excited.
So excited.
Let's do this now.
Katie's word. It's so exciting.
Right? I think it's something we can all be proud of, right? It will all feel like we put something into this every time we show up, and we'll all be able to get from it, right? And I think we'll be proud of all of the leaders that will come out of this program, right? All of the kids like Ariel who are going to just come up with great ideas and get a chance to every day practice them and put them into life and to move through a structure of volunteerism where they become like a volunteer manager and they can be a gold star, create teams of volunteers and work with other parents and do outreach and start school programs and like everything you did naturally, really have a place where you can come together with other kids and talk that through. And we're going to be so proud of the kids and the parents and all the people that this center just holds and loves. It's pretty special.
What is the spirit of ITK?
Healing. Soul,
healing your soul.
In one word, how I'd kind of put ITK would be love. I always feel love when ITK is involved, and to spread that love in the community would be fantastic. So my word for ITK is love.
Inclusivity.
My word is as the same, love.
I would say love as well, but also connection, both physically and emotionally.
Very wholesome and family. Comfortable.
Happiness.
It's written on your sweater.
That's right there. Did you get a preview? What? How, you're ahead of it. You're so on it, Christian.
The bond. It's a big bond. Family.
ITK is community coming together.
Stress reliever. You feel relaxed, reborn, kind of when you leave. So after your sessions.
I think ITK can teach the world that it's worth it to invest in each one of our well-being. Like that to have less stress, to feel included, to feel together, to feel loved, these things are priceless, and we can show the world that it's worth it to invest it in a way that people can access it, using the currency of their love. So I think ITK is a teacher that to show really true value. Thank you.
We are going to do some more of these focus groups. We don't have dates yet set, but we will announce those and we'll share those via email and social media. Thanks. And so if there's other families that are part of our ITK community that weren't here tonight that you think would enjoy a format similar to this, we will be creating more opportunities for this. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. I also wanted to remind again the gala. So we'll do a little sign up. If anyone knows you would like to come to the gala with one of our family tickets, we'll go ahead and have you sign something. We've always been a we. We've always been a we, and we will always be a we. Like that's our success. That's the success of who we are. It's in our diversity. It's in the complexity of our community and the fact that no other community quite like this exists. It's in that we're special. Like that's what makes us special. So I know we're gonna just rock that in the center. We are just gonna rock that. So I want to thank you guys so much. Yeah, did you want to share?
And I kind of like the idea of having family who have children who are struggling terminal illness. Our kids can be exposed to them and help, and it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. It always goes both ways, right? Real giving is also always receiving. Real receiving is also always giving, right? There's always a continuum. And I love how many of our ITK people have been on both sides of the coin, right? Like in one moment they were volunteering, and then the next they're, a family, and because then that's life, right? We're all always giving and receiving, so we will make that happen. I want to thank you so much for your time and dedication to the creation of this vision, and I think your time is valuable, so thank you so much for being here. I hope to see many of you at the gala.
Such short notice.
Yay.
Thank you.
Maybe Healing Circle.